Have you ever been in a relationship where every small ounce of trust they give you feels like a lifeline? You hold on tightly, choosing to stay, hoping against hope that this time things will be different. But each time that trust is shattered, each time your heart breaks a little more, and you're left wondering how someone could so effortlessly destroy what they've built. This pain isn't accidental. A covert narcissist orchestrates it. Behind their calculated generosity and fleeting moments of charm lies a pattern of manipulation that keeps you in a cycle of hope and despair. They weren't born this way. Narcissists are made, shaped by emotional scars and the need for control. And each time they let you down, you question them and yourself. In This Is How a Narcissist Is Created, we'll uncover the painful roots of narcissism, reveal why they behave this way, and teach you how to recognize the subtle signs before it's too late. If you've ever felt trapped, drained, or stuck in a cycle of hope and heartbreak, stay until the end of this video. It might just be the key to reclaiming your strength. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic for more eye-opening insights. When you're ready to break free, comment below with the phrase, "I reclaim my strength and choose peace," to take the first step toward healing. Let's uncover the truth together. Number 1, the driving force of a narcissist. The narcissist's world revolves around one central goal: self-gratification. They are not driven by empathy, nor are they genuinely concerned about the feelings or well-being of others. Instead, their primary motivation is validation, a deep craving for recognition, admiration, and a sense of superiority. This relentless pursuit is not just a preference but a need, rooted in their fragile self-esteem and often masked by a confident facade. For a narcissist, relationships are not about connection or mutual respect. They are tools and means to an end. Others exist in their orbit primarily to fulfill their emotional or psychological voids. They thrive on control, and their preferred weapons are manipulation and deceit. Two of their most effective tactics are gaslighting and future faking, tools designed to destabilize their victims and ensure their dominance. Gaslighting is a calculated method of making someone doubt their reality. Imagine Sarah, a young woman in a relationship with a covert narcissist. She confronts him about a lie she caught him in. Instead of admitting his fault, he twists the narrative. "Are you sure you didn't misunderstand? You're always so sensitive. Maybe you're overthinking again." Over time, Sarah begins to question her instincts and memories, unsure whether the problem lies with her or him. This erosion of self-trust is precisely what the narcissist aims for. By making Sarah doubt herself, he gains control over her perception of reality. Future faking, on the other hand, is a tool of false hope. Narcissists make grand promises about a future that will never come. Picture Jack, who is dating a narcissistic partner. She promises him a dream life together: vacations, a family, and financial success. Jack holds on to these promises, believing that their struggles today will lead to happiness tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. These promises were never meant to be fulfilled. They were bait to keep Jack invested, ensuring his continued devotion while the narcissist reaps the benefits of his emotional labor. These tactics are not accidental. They are deliberate strategies to manipulate, control, and extract resources, be it emotional support, financial gain, or simple adoration. Narcissists understand the power of hope and trust, and they wield these forces as weapons to maintain their position of dominance. What makes this dynamic so devastating is the emotional toll it takes on its victims. The manipulated often cling to the narcissist's promises or explanations, hoping for change, only to be repeatedly let down. The cycle of hope and disappointment not only drains their energy but also damages their self-esteem, leaving them vulnerable to further exploitation. The driving force of a narcissist, then, is not just a desire for admiration, but an unrelenting need to fill the emptiness within themselves. They are masters of illusion, presenting themselves as confident, charming, and in control, while hiding the deep insecurities that fuel their actions. Understanding these motivations is crucial, not to excuse their behavior, but to recognize their patterns. Once you see the truth behind their tactics, you can begin to protect yourself from the emotional havoc they wreak. By setting boundaries and prioritizing your well-being, you can break free from the grip of their manipulations and reclaim your sense of self. Number 2, the happiness of a narcissist. Happiness for a narcissist is not what most people envision. It isn't rooted in connection, growth, or genuine joy. It's derived from control, superficial admiration, and fleeting victories. This kind of happiness is shallow and short-lived, but for a narcissist, it's enough to fuel their endless need for validation and superiority. The joy of control. Narcissists thrive on control. To them, happiness means having others bend to their will, even if it requires manipulation, coercion, or deceit. They use tactics like guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or silent treatment to subtly influence others, ensuring that their demands are met and their dominance is maintained. Take Lisa, for instance, who works with a narcissistic boss. He frequently makes last-minute demands, expecting her to drop everything and comply. When she hesitates, he reminds her of past mistakes or subtly implies that her career depends on his approval. Each time Lisa gives in, the boss feels a rush of satisfaction. To him, her compliance isn't just a task completed, it's a reminder of his power. This joy in control is more than a strategy, it's a necessity. Narcissists equate control with worth. When others submit, it reaffirms their importance and masks the insecurities they refuse to confront. B. The happiness of superficial admiration. Another source of happiness for narcissists comes from crafting a perfect image. They meticulously curate their appearance, achievements, and social personas to elicit admiration from others. This admiration, even if superficial or insincere, is their lifeline. Consider Daniel, a narcissistic entrepreneur. He boasts about his business success, inflates his accomplishments, and ensures his social media portrays a glamorous lifestyle. He relishes the likes, comments, and envy he inspires, but these moments of validation are hollow. The admiration is based on a facade, not who Daniel truly is. Yet, for him, the illusion is enough. However, this superficial admiration provides only temporary satisfaction. The moment the attention fades, or worse, is directed elsewhere, the narcissist is left feeling empty. Their need for validation is insatiable. No matter how much they receive, it's never enough. This constant hunger drives them to seek more attention, more approval, and more control, perpetuating a cycle of short-lived highs and deep dissatisfaction. C. The short-lived victory. High, perhaps the most fleeting form of narcissistic happiness, is the thrill of winning. Whether it's outshining a colleague, outmaneuvering a competitor, or proving someone wrong, the narcissist feels a temporary surge of euphoria from these victories. Imagine Jack, a covert narcissist, in a group discussion. He subtly discredits a colleague's idea while presenting a polished version of the same concept as his own. When the group applauds his brilliance, Jack feels an intoxicating sense of triumph. However, this feeling quickly fades, leaving him craving the next opportunity to dominate. These short-term victories provide bursts of satisfaction, but they fail to address the deep void within the narcissist. Winning becomes less about achieving meaningful goals and more about momentarily filling the emptiness they constantly feel. And as soon as the thrill is gone, they are back where they started, chasing the next high. D. A happiness that's never enough. Narcissists can experience temporary moments of satisfaction when they receive attention, admiration, or control. They may feel triumphant when they win or when others succumb to their influence. But the key to understanding their behavior lies in one painful truth. These feelings are fleeting. No matter how much attention or admiration they receive, it is never enough. The joy they feel quickly evaporates, leaving behind a gnawing sense of inadequacy and emptiness. This is why narcissists are perpetually chasing more. They need constant validation to mask their deep-seated insecurities, but nothing they gain ever truly satisfies them. Understanding this cycle helps reveal the hollowness behind the narcissist's confident exterior. Their endless pursuit of external happiness is not a sign of strength or success, but a reflection of the deep void they carry inside. For those who interact with narcissists, this knowledge is essential, not just for recognizing their tactics, but also for protecting your emotional well-being. Number 3. The roots of narcissism. Narcissism is not an inherent trait. It is cultivated and shaped by the environment and experiences of an individual's early life. At its core lies a psychological wound, a deep and unresolved pain that drives their need for control, admiration, and validation. Two primary paths often lead to the development of narcissistic traits: a childhood of adversity or one of excessive indulgence. A. Adverse childhood experiences. Children raised in environments of neglect, abuse, or extreme stress often develop narcissistic tendencies as a survival mechanism. In these situations, emotional or physical needs are overlooked, and the child is forced to fend for themselves, emotionally or otherwise. Imagine a child growing up in a home where love is conditional, only given when they perform well academically, excel in sports, or meet other high expectations. They quickly learn that their worth is tied to their achievements, not their inherent value. Over time, they build a psychological barrier, a false sense of superiority, to protect themselves from the pain of rejection and inadequacy. For others, adversity might take the form of constant criticism or belittlement. When a child is repeatedly told they are not enough or made to feel insignificant, they may compensate by overinflating their sense of self to shield their fragile ego. This compensatory behavior becomes the foundation for the narcissistic personality, where arrogance and manipulation mask deep-seated insecurity. B. Overindulgent upbringing. On the opposite end of the spectrum, excessive pampering and overindulgence can also lead to narcissism. A child who is constantly told they are special, superior, or above the rules may develop an inflated sense of entitlement. Picture a child who is never accountable for their actions. When they misbehave, their parents excuse it or even reward it, reinforcing the belief that they are exempt from responsibility. Over time, they grow up believing they are inherently superior to others, deserving of admiration without earning it, and immune to consequences. This overindulgence creates an unrealistic self-image that clashes with reality as the child grows. When faced with challenges, criticism, or failure, they struggle to cope, often resorting to manipulation or domination to maintain their distorted sense of self-worth. The core wound of narcissism. Despite the contrasting paths of adversity and overindulgence, both lead to the same outcome: a core psychological wound. At its heart, this wound is a deep-seated fear of being unworthy, unlovable, or inadequate. For the narcissist, their outward behavior, whether it's manipulation, gaslighting, or a relentless pursuit of admiration, is an attempt to mask or compensate for this core wound. They build a facade of confidence and control, hiding the profound insecurity and pain that lies beneath. Understanding the roots. Recognizing the origins of narcissism doesn't excuse their behavior, but it provides insight into why they act the way they do. A narcissist's manipulative tendencies and inflated ego are not born out of malice, but out of a desperate need to protect themselves from the vulnerability they cannot face. For those dealing with narcissists, understanding their roots can help foster a sense of detachment and self-protection. It reminds us that their actions are reflections of their internal struggles, not of our worth or value. By knowing the origins of their pain, we can focus on setting boundaries and protecting our emotional health while avoiding the trap of trying to fix them, a task that lies far beyond our reach. Number 4. Why narcissists are hard to change. Narcissists are notoriously resistant to change. Their personality is rigid and unyielding, like cement hardened around a brittle core. While others may adapt and grow, narcissists see no need to transform. They view themselves as above such efforts. Their unchanging nature stems from a belief in their superiority, an inability to understand the emotional pain they cause, and an expectation that others will tolerate their behavior no matter the harm. A. They see themselves as too good to change. Narcissists often believe their image is flawless, a polished diamond in a world of dull stones. To them, change is unnecessary because their inflated sense of self-worth convinces them they are already ideal. They view others as fundamentally inferior, less capable, less intelligent, or less deserving, and see no reason to lower themselves to the same standard of accountability or self-improvement. For instance, consider James, a narcissistic CEO. His employees complain about his micromanagement and unreasonable demands, but James dismisses their concerns. In his mind, their struggles stem from incompetence, not his leadership style. Why should I change when I'm the smartest person in the room, he thinks. To James, the problem lies with everyone else, not him. This arrogance acts as a shield, deflecting criticism and reinforcing the idea that their behavior is above reproach. They view change not as growth but as a concession, something beneath their perceived perfection. They assume others will always forgive them. Narcissists often operate under the assumption that no matter how much harm they cause, people will eventually let it slide. This belief is rooted in their misunderstanding or outright disregard of the emotional damage they inflict. To a narcissist, emotional pain is abstract, something they cannot comprehend because they rarely allow themselves to feel vulnerable. Imagine Rachel, a narcissistic friend who frequently cancels plans last minute without explanation. When confronted, she dismisses the hurt feelings of others with comments like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not a big deal." Rachel believes her friends will continue to forgive her because, in her eyes, they lack the strength or confidence to walk away. What narcissists fail to grasp is the cumulative toll their behavior takes on those around them. While they view forgiveness as a given, they don't see the erosion of trust and respect that occurs with each offense. To them, emotional wounds are insignificant, mere inconveniences that others should get over quickly. C. The cement and glass of narcissism. The narcissistic personality is like cement encasing fragile glass. The cement represents their rigid, unyielding belief in their superiority, while the glass symbolizes their fragile ego. On the surface, they seem impervious, but beneath the hard exterior lies a delicate self-image, easily shattered by criticism or failure. This combination of hardness and fragility makes change nearly impossible. Admitting flaws or taking responsibility would mean cracking the cement, exposing the fragile core they've spent their lives protecting. The risk is too great, so they remain locked in their rigid patterns, incapable of growth or self-awareness. D. They cannot understand emotional pain. A narcissist's inability to change is compounded by their lack of empathy. Emotional pain, something they frequently cause in others, is incomprehensible to them. To a narcissist, feelings are tools to be used for manipulation, not experiences to be respected or understood. For example, consider Mark, a narcissistic spouse who frequently belittles his partner during arguments. When his partner expresses hurt or frustration, Mark dismisses it, saying, "You're too sensitive." He genuinely cannot grasp why his words are cut so deeply, because he doesn't experience emotions in the same way. To him, the pain of others is trivial, a sign of weakness, rather than a valid human response. E. They believe their behavior works. Narcissists are unlikely to change because, in their eyes, their tactics are effective. Manipulation, blame shifting, and denial have allowed them to maintain control, avoid responsibility, and secure admiration. From their perspective, why fix something that isn't broken? Take Emily, a narcissistic manager who regularly takes credit for her team's work. Despite the resentment this creates, Emily continues because it boosts her reputation and keeps her in the spotlight. She assumes her team will tolerate it, and even if they don't, she can always find replacements. Her behavior works for her, so she sees no reason to stop. F. What this means for others. Narcissists are like immovable mountains, formidable on the surface but hollow and unchanging inside. They see no need to alter their behavior because they believe their image is perfect. The pain of others is irrelevant, and forgiveness is guaranteed. For those dealing with narcissists, understanding this rigidity is crucial. It highlights the futility of expecting change and emphasizes the importance of protecting your emotional well-being. Instead of trying to fix the narcissist, focus on setting boundaries, prioritizing your needs, and walking away when their behavior becomes intolerable. Their cement may never crack, but you don't have to remain trapped beneath its weight. Number 5. Message to the victims. You cannot save a narcissist. Dealing with a narcissist can feel like an endless cycle of hope, pain, and disappointment. The harsh truth is this: you cannot save a narcissist. Change is their responsibility, and unless they willingly confront their flaws, no amount of love, patience, or effort will transform them. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It's a reminder that your focus should be on your well-being, not on trying to fix someone who refuses to acknowledge their faults. Here are 5 key truths to help you reclaim your strength and protect your peace. A. Change is their responsibility, not yours. A narcissist will only change if they choose to take responsibility for their behavior, something they rarely do. Their inability to accept blame and their constant deflection make it nearly impossible for them to grow. Every time you try to help them see the harm they've caused, they twist the narrative, blaming you or others instead of looking inward. This resistance to accountability is a defense mechanism to protect their fragile ego, and no amount of reasoning or pleading will break through it. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Recognize that their refusal to change is not your failure, but a reflection of their unwillingness to grow. B. Sacrificing yourself won't fix them. Many victims fall into the trap of sacrificing their own needs, well-being, and happiness in the hope that their love or effort will save the narcissist. But instead of gratitude, they are met with entitlement and manipulation. Imagine trying to fill a cup with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour, it's never enough. A narcissist's constant demands drain you, leaving you depleted while they take without remorse. Seneca reminds us, throwing away your time is the most disgraceful thing of all. Sacrificing your happiness for someone who refuses to change is a waste of your precious energy and time. C. They exploit your empathy. Narcissists are masters at exploiting the kindness of others. They feign vulnerability, make empty promises, or play the victim to keep you emotionally invested. They know your empathy is a powerful tool, and they wield it to maintain control. For example, a narcissist might apologize after a heated argument, saying, "I'll do better," only to repeat the same behavior days later. These moments of false hope keep you trapped, forgiving them repeatedly while they continue to hurt you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." The narcissist's ambition is self-serving. They seek control, not genuine growth. Recognizing this can help you protect your boundaries. D. The cost of staying is too high. Remaining in a relationship with a narcissist takes a toll. Their manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional neglect erode your self-esteem and leave you doubting your worth. Over time, you may lose sight of who you are, becoming a shadow of yourself as you prioritize their needs over your own. Ask yourself, how much more of yourself are you willing to lose? Walking away may feel difficult, but staying will cost you far more. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By staying, you hand over control of your life to someone who values their happiness over your well-being. Reclaim your freedom by choosing yourself. E. Freedom lies in letting go. The most liberating truth is that you don't have to stay in their cycle of pain. Walking away from a narcissist is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's a declaration that your well-being, peace, and happiness are worth more than their empty promises. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care enough about yourself to stop enduring the hurt. It's an act of self-love and a step toward healing. Seneca wrote, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." By letting go, you choose a life of quality, a life free from manipulation and pain, and one where you can rediscover your worth. No matter the hard truth. The reality is this: you cannot save a narcissist. Their resistance to change, their exploitation of your empathy, and their refusal to take responsibility transform nearly impossible. Sacrificing yourself to fix them will only lead to more pain and heartbreak. Instead, focus on yourself. Set boundaries, seek support, and if necessary, walk away. Your worth is not tied to their approval, nor is your purpose to endure their harm. Remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Take back your power, protect your peace, and choose a life where your happiness comes first. Freedom and healing are within your reach. You just have to take the first step. Conclusion. Understanding narcissists and the roots of their behavior is not about excusing their actions, it's about empowering yourself. When you recognize the motivations behind their manipulation and the insecurities driving their rigid personality, you gain the tools to protect yourself from their emotional traps. Knowledge is your first line of defense. By understanding the tactics narcissists use and the wounds they carry, you can set boundaries, refuse to engage in their cycles of control, and prioritize your well-being. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This wisdom reminds us to act with integrity and clarity in all relationships, including those with narcissists. Protecting yourself starts with awareness. Don't allow their pain to become your burden. Instead, focus on creating a life where your happiness and peace are the priorities. Understanding the narcissist isn't just about them. It's about freeing yourself. If you recognize that you're dealing with a narcissist, start by learning how to set boundaries and protect your values. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic for more deep insights and valuable lessons. Leave a comment with the phrase, "I choose to protect myself and live in balance," to affirm your commitment to self-preservation and growth. Thank you for listening and engaging with this message. Always remember, understanding others is the first step to protecting yourself and upholding your values. See you in the next video on Victory Stoic, where we'll continue to explore meaningful lessons for a better life.